can hit him, kick him, gently abuse him, set him on fire, we'll abuse him. Heaven knows he won't hold a grudge.
Hey guys, welcome back to Action and Acting, Episode 5, Superpowers.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Quinn.
And today we are going to be talking about the age-old conversation of what superpower would you have if you had the chance?
On screen and off screen, because there's a difference.
There is a huge difference. Right. So the criteria we're looking at here is for the on-screen superpower. I personally would want something that doesn't have a lot of CGI, right? I mean, if teleportation's your thing, well, it's really just you standing there and then them cutting you out. Not really a cool superpower.
It's like you're standing there, it's like, okay, you're going to do your teleport. Poof. Cut.
All right, next. Let's move on. You're over there now, right? To me, that's not a really cool superpower to have on screen. But it would be cool in real life.
In real life, that would probably be one of the best ones, especially just because you could be anywhere at any time.
Right. I totally agree. Right. So let's go ahead and get this started, I guess. What's your first one?
Okay. I want to start with on screen.
Okay.
And I'm going to pull from my love for anime. And I'm going to have to go with something along the lines of kind of like a Full Metal Alchemist type feel. I really think the ability to be able to manipulate the chemical structure of things, like change like how atoms are arranged and being able to process that all at once. I think there would be a lot of power in that, and that would be really fun to play on screen. Even though it would not appear to be like, super CGI and all that, but even just the visual elements of changing things in the world would be cool.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, kind of like if you have water and you have water atoms, you could change the chemical structure and turn them into like hydrogen, which could turn into like something explosive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be a pretty cool one to have in real life.
Yeah. I mean, but we also have to talk about the weaknesses in a second, but what is your on-camera one?
So my on-camera one is kind of hard because like I said, I want something that is me doing a lot of physical activity, right? I don't want it to be like me shooting fireballs because then it's like, hey, boom, fireball. Okay, it's all CGI, right? Right. For me, it would be a lot more of a precognition in battle.
Okay.
Always knowing what my opponent is, or even something way more out there, which I think would just open all the doors for me to be able to do pretty much whatever I wanted, is to be able to learn any physical activity just by watching it.
So kind of like a instant memory type deal?
Yeah.
Like you see it, you memorize it, and then you can do it.
Right. So like my character could be watching Spider-Man and see like the twists and the flips and go, oh, now I can do that. Right? Or can watch any kung fu, any type of kung fu demonstration or anything and be able to immediately learn it.
That's a really good idea.
Right. Behind the scenes, that would take me years and years and years to be able to pull that character off.
Yeah.
But I think it would be super cool as a character to be able to do that, because then all the stunts or all the actual thing, the superpower is all me.
Yeah, and that's all about your own growth and learning and all that. So that would lead into even like the scale of the battles get harder and harder, but you get defeated and then you come back stronger.
Right, you're just constantly growing all the time.
Nice, I love that. Okay, so what would be like detriment? What's your weakness to that type of power though?
I feel like that type of power would be a detriment, and either one that if I see it done wrong, I will do it wrong.
So you would memorize it incorrectly.
I would. So it'd be like, in essence, burning a bunch of reps doing something the wrong way, right? Okay. Either that, or it would be, I could only learn one skill at a time, right? So I could watch a big kung fu demonstration. All of a sudden, I'm great at kung fu. But the second I go to do, it's like an old VHS tape, right? As soon as I watch something different, everything else is erased.
Interesting.
I feel like those would be two great drawbacks to that.
Yeah, that would be
not make it so OP, right?
That would be really hard. In terms of mine, I was thinking about the weaknesses of having something like that. That would take an immense amount of concentration in order to understand and even know what the elements of everything are. So it would require a vast amount of intelligence and knowledge of what of the materials that are around you in order to manipulate them. And so I think that mine would it would require an immense amount of concentration. So against somebody I think it'd be more of like a support skill in terms of like a fight than it would be like an attacking skill. Because as soon as my concentration's broken, I wouldn't have the control and the manipulation over the elements that I would want.
Yeah, but is that something that could potentially go away the longer you do it? You know, is
I
it
think
something
so.
that
I think like
it could become the second thought? You're just like, boom.
yeah, like I think basic elements you could like think like a low level mage spell on like D&D. You know, eventually your character builds to the point where he can just do them without having to worry about concentration or enchantment or anything. So I think that would also the complexity of what I was trying to do would have an effect on that. So
We're
I think
nerds.
those yeah, we're pretty big nerds. Quite proud of that. Okay, so off screen.
Off screen. Yeah. So my superpower, I'll start this one off and let you end it.
Okay.
My superpower for off screen is pretty in depth. It's pretty insane. So the way I see it is the basic explanation is I have control over shadows. That would be what I would want, right? But it's not as simple as that sounds, right? So I could do the normal things of, you know, using my shadow to choke someone else's shadow and hurt them,
Okay.
right? But also be able to jump into a shadow and reappear out of a shadow somewhere else, right? So I have that teleportation.
So are we
aspect.
talking any shadow?
Any shadow?
Okay.
So and I can move shadows. So if
so you can manipulate and go into shadows.
yes,
Okay.
and if I can't create a shadow, but if there was a shadow available, I can make it bigger and use it to cover me, so I can either hide in plain sight or disappear or whatever.
Okay.
And then I picture myself having like my own little world inside the shadow realm.
Okay.
It's like my fortress of solitude, you know?
I'm imagining like this big castle with like gargoyles at the top.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, like angel statues that are crumbling in the courtyard, and
I dig that.
you know, like
Nice.
that would be what my place would be like. But that's what my house should look like now. But
We can make that happen.
that's pretty much the superpower I want. I think it would be so cool because it covers teleportation.
Right.
It covers being able to dispose of enemies without having to show
Without having to dispose of the body.
right, because then the shadow just takes them back into the shadow world and they're gone. And never.
Okay.
I'd be a perfect hitman at that point.
Okay, I like that. Now you mentioned like it covers teleportation.
Right.
How would you go to your other shadows whenever you're inside of the shadow?
So the way I see it in my brain,
Okay.
is that once I go into the shadow realm, I can. It's like a billion windows, and all those windows are shadows somewhere.
Okay.
Right?
So they're like windows to the reality.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So you know, in essence, you know, just to be honest here, if there was a desk here and there was a pretty woman sitting right here, I'd be able to see up her skirt through the window because it's a shadow down there, right? Like, I'd be able to see whatever I wanted to see through the shadow. And
I like how that's like your first use of your superpower. That's great.
yeah. Sorry, ladies, I'm married. You know, but through all the shadows in the room, because if you really look, there's tons of shadows in a room.
Right.
I would be able to have a 3D vision of what that room actually looked like.
Okay.
You know, so I could be able to go control where I came in, be able to come out of people's shadows.
Okay, now
You know,
let's just say that someone was trying to capture you or to stop your superpower. Clearly, it's based in shadows, so the only option would be to remove all the shadows from the area. So it'd have to be like, you'd have to be trapped. And
Yeah.
then let's just say they get you into a completely white room where they blast lights from all directions.
all right. So I thought about this too because
Okay.
that seems the only logical way to be able to trap that, right?
Right?
But even if we take our room and we put lights on everything where it's just flooded with light, I can still create shadows on myself, right?
Okay.
In between my arms or whatever. If I hunch over in the fetal position or something, you know, I'm going to be able to create some form of shadow.
Okay.
And I've already established that in this power, I can make shadows grow.
So as long as
So
you have a
as long
shadow
as
to
there
work
is
with,
a
you can-
shadow,
Okay.
I can expand it. So
Nice.
that would be my workaround for that.
Okay.
Logically in my brain. But you know, there's got to be a downside in some way.
Right.
So, right. So
Honestly, I'm just imagining like you running and diving towards like a shadow to get away from a place, and then somebody shines a light on that, and you actually go like head first into the wall.
oh, dude, that'd be hilarious, though, wouldn't it? Oh man, I feel like we need to film that. Actually,
Okay.
that'd be hilarious. So, what about you? What would be your real life superpower.
Really superpower. I've always been a huge fan of the Spot from Spider-Man, as well as Jumper. Just because of, you visualize the place, you can go there. Right. I love the concept of being able to teleport, and I agree with you on like the special effects inside of like a movie. It wouldn't be as fulfilling to me, I feel.
Right.
But outside it would be great because I could be anywhere at any time, and just the sheer benefit of gaining that amount of time in real life would be worth it. Because
Right.
like, oh, I want to go take a vacation. Boom, I'm in like Cabo, or what are some other cool places? Boom, I'm in Japan. I want to go to Japan.
Yeah,
that'd be great. So yeah, I think I would probably lean more towards the Spot just because I like the idea of him like creating those holes and being able to like go in and out of them a lot, kind of like your shadows. But I wouldn't want it to be. I wouldn't have like the shadow realm of it.
It would be like an immediate thing. Boom,
Yeah.
there.
And then also, I think that you could also apply it as like a form of a weapon as well, because like you create a hole, someone comes in, you close the hole, their arm's gone.
Right.
So, I think that'd be one benefit. And the downside that, of course, was the Spots was if one's left open too long, eventually it creates a black hole, and I would have to jump into that to sacrifice myself, just like he did in the cartoon and like the old Spider-Mans. And that would, of course, be the end of me. And I think the teleportation is just so much more attractive than the concept of like immortality. Don't get me wrong, I love immortality, but
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I would love to be immortal. I think that would be super cool. And there's not many consequences I wouldn't be willing to pay for that.
yeah. But I mean, okay, think about it this
But
way.
then also, I would love to be a werewolf too. Like,
Werewolf?
I don't care
I would be a
how
werewolf.
painful
That would be a
the transformation is. It could be the most excruciating pain ever, every time. As long as I got the physical bonuses of it as a human, the extra strength, extra speed,
Mhm.
extra sensory development, totally worth it.
Yeah,
Don't care.
I don't know. I'd probably go. I think I'd rather be a werewolf than a vampire, to be honest. Just because I don't know. I like daylight.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't care either way. I feel like,
Maybe can I be if I'm a vampire? Can I be the kind that like glows diamonds?
oh my god, you can be whatever you want.
Can I have
This is yours.
some sappy woman like chasing after me, choosing between you and me? And I'll be like, "Don't worry, he's married."
Oh man, we're gonna get so much trouble for this
I
episode.
don't care. All right, that's pretty good. You want to throw it out to them, see what they want to come back with us at?
Yes. So, guys, we are going to start taking some ideas from you guys. So, put in the comments down below, and or email us at actionandacting@gmail.com, and let us know the most ridiculous ideas you can come up with, and then we're going to decide whether or not it'll make a good movie.
Because that's what episode 6 is will it make a good movie? So if you have some crazy ideas and you want to send them our way, please do, and we will bring them up, and we'll bring up the best ones. And honestly, I'm really looking forward to some of the stuff that people come up with.
Yeah, I think it'll be really fun. Also, use this opportunity where if you're a new filmmaker or something like that, and you've got some ideas that you're like, I don't really know if it will sell, put them down. We'll talk about it, and we'll let you know what we think.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be a pretty cool episode.
All right, I'm down with that.
Yeah, you're down for just about everything.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Hey, you try everything once. If you don't like it, try it a second time. Then you can go from there. Because you can't judge something if you've never tried it, right?
For another day.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Action and Acting. Look forward to episode 6. Would it make a good movie? Next week. And be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. And we'll see you then.
Later, peeps.
See ya. Boom.
He'll look you in the eye and tell you with a smile there ain't nothing like the life of a Hollywood stuntman.